Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. Probably one of the most boringest football matches I've ever watched in my whole life. Yes lads, how you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today, boys and girls, I'm going to bring you guys my post-match thoughts after Leicester's 0-0 draw today against Wolves away from home. So the boys and girls, of course, did finish at Molineux. Wolves 0, Leicester City 0. A very boring game, to be perfectly honest, but overall it's still a point. It's another point closer to Champions League football, and overall, just on the balance of play, a point was probably about deserved. So that being said, in today's video I'm going to bring you guys the Wolves versus Leicester match review. I'll go for my general thoughts on the game and also my play ratings from the side it started against Wolves away from home. But just before we get into today's video, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video if you guys are going to enjoy today's video. As of course today, I bring you guys my post-match thoughts after Leicester's 0-0 draw today against Wolves away from home. Also, subscribe to see my face on your screen before. We are now well on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that'd be massively appreciated. And as always, most support teachers, you sent out your thoughts on the game, your play ratings in the comment section down below. But yeah, lads, let's discuss Wolves 0, Leicester 0. They're probably one of the most boringest games I've ever watched. But anyway, just let's get into it. So then, of course, it did finish 0-0. Nothing really happened. To be honest, boys and girls, literally nothing happened in the game. There was about 3 or 4 chances for either side, and not many of them were too close. There was 2 great chances in the second half through Fábio Silva and Jamie Vardy late on. But apart from that, it was a boring game and nothing really happened, just to be honest, boys. But overall, a point is still a decent result for Leicester, and that keeps us well within the title race potential. And of course, that keeps us well intact with Manchester United in second place. I think it is a chance missed though for Leicester to really gain on Manchester United, because I thought the 3 points they were definitely up for grabs for Leicester. Just especially in that first half, Wolves did sit back quite a lot. We had loads of possession, but we just didn't really do too much with that possession in today's game. I thought we lacked that final pass, and for me, it's 3 points gone for Leicester, because I really did think that if we played well, we could have easily got the 3 points in the game. It wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't that great of a performance today against Wolves. But I think Wolves did quite well just to soak up the Leicester pressure, and they caused us some problems on the counter-attack as well. But overall, it's just another boring game between Leicester and Wolves. They always seem to end 0-0, and of course that happened once again today. Of course, Leicester played alright in some parts of the game, particularly towards the start of the game. I thought we were alright then. We were passing the ball quite well. The intensity was right, but since then we didn't really have many chances. The pass intensity was just low, and we were really slow, just lethargic on the ball. We just couldn't really find that final pass, and I think that is due just from no Vardy up front. Of course, Vardy did come on. We looked a bit better, but just with Vards back in the side towards the end of that second half. But overall, just with Iheanacho at top, the runs we were making weren't the greatest, and we just didn't really interchange too well. And we stuck for ideas, and to be honest, especially in that first, I thought Leicester were quite narrow as well. So overall, I think it's 3 points gone. But overall, at least it's a point, because on another day, Wolves could have turned up in that game and they could have got the 3 points. So I'm happy with the point, but I think Leicester could have really got 3 points in the game. But overall, it's not the worst, it's not the best performance. It's a pretty average performance. And based on that, based on the course of the game, I think a point is probably deserved for both sides, and both sides were probably fairly pleased with that. So then let's speak about the game then in a bit more detail. So yeah, Brendan Rodgers made no changes from the side it started last night against Fulham in the Premier League. Of course, Schmeichel was in goal, Ricardo at right back, centre back pairing of Evans and Sionchi. Left back, of course, was James Justin. We had Hamza Chowdhury just in that defensive role. Tillemans and Madison in the front three, of course, was Barnes, Iheanacho and Jose Perez. Overall, I thought that was a pretty good team just to go. Of course, Vardy was back on the bench. It was interesting to see if it's going to be Chowdhury or Mendy. Of course, it was Chowdhury to start. Bit weird to see no changes under once again in the game, but I think that's another discussion for a different video. But yeah, the team Brendan went with, I think it was alright. He could have done the job. Overall, of course, we're lacking some key men in Vardy and in Didi. Right then, starting off then in the first half. First 10 minutes or so, it was quite boring, just like the most of the game, just to be honest. Leicester had more of the ball, but just didn't really create too many chances. Wolves had a slight few chances just within the 20 minutes or so. Adama Traore had a great chance for James Justin, got a crucial block in, and Ruben Neves went close as well. Collection actually had a good chance for Leicester where his shot was blazed over the bar, but apart from that, there's nothing really going on in the first half. Leicester did have a penalty shout, in my opinion. It was a good interchange between Barnes and Iheanacho on the left hand side. He got pulled back to Iheanacho. He took a touch, then shot. He got it deflected everywhere, and I think it hit Johnny's hand, in my opinion. But you know, it's VAR, so yeah, who knows. But yeah, first half wise, that was about it. No real chance. Both teams had a couple of hard chances. James Madison went close just from a free kick, but apart from that, it was a really lacklustre first half and nothing really happened. Right, and moving into the second half then. So yeah, Leicester made no changes just at the start of the half, and neither did Wolves, because the changes did come around the 60th minute mark where Vardy and Marco Brighton were introduced just for Leicester. First 15 minutes or so, it was more of Wolves, to be honest. They had a lot of the ball, but it just didn't do anything with it, just like Leicester. And I think both sides struggled just with the final pass in today's game. Of course, that is due to both sides having some key members. Of course, Vardy with Leicester, Jimenez with Wolves as well. So overall, first 15 minutes, I think Wolves were quite good. As the game grew on, since Vardy and O'Brien came on, Leicester came into a bit more. Barnes went close. We had a corner, a chance from the corner as well. We had a couple of half chances. Wolves though did have a great chance though through Silva. The cross came in and Schmeichel made a fantastic save just to deny. And I thought that was going to be a goal, to be honest, because that was a fantastic save from Schmeichel just to keep it level. And then Leicester had a great chance late on, to be honest. The ball got put in the box. Vardy came in from about 3 defenders. He headed it just wide of the post. I thought it went in on the stream. I was going mental, but yeah, it didn't. It just went wide of the post. Very close to Vardy. I think if he was playing a bit more, if he was playing for the whole game, he might have put that one away. But his header just went wide of the post. But overall, we had a couple of other half chances here and there. We had a free kick shout late on, but the referee decided to blow the full time whistle. We always had a couple of half opportunities here for lots of Pedro Neto as well. But despite that, pretty boring game. Just to be honest, as you can see, there's not many chances in the game. And overall, 0-0 was a full time score, and overall it was probably deserved. So there was girls, that is it then for my thoughts on the game. So yeah, let's get into my player ratings for on the side which started against Wolves. Yeah, start off in goal then with Kasper Schmeichel. For me, I only gave him an 8 out of 10. Thought Kasper was good once again. Of course, made that fantastic save. It's another clean sheet though for Kasper, which is a positive. And overall, he didn't have to make too many saves, but the saves he had to do, they're fantastic, especially that save from Fábio Silva. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for Schmeichel. So moving into the back four, so yeah, starting up right back then with Ricardo Pereira. For me, I only give Ricardo a 6. I don't think he has the greatest performance just from Ricardo. Obviously, he's only just came back from injury, so you can't really read too much into it. But overall, I thought he was sloppy at parts throughout the game. He went forward on a few occasions, but just lacked the final ball. So overall, 6 out of 10 for Ricardo. Defensively was alright, but going forward just didn't really offer too much. Yeah, 6 for Ricardo. Centre backs then, starting off then with Kasper. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Kag had a pretty good performance today. He was on the ball quite well. Defensively was good as well. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for Sionchu. And likewise with Johnny Evans, just solid from them too, as always. Yeah, 7 out of 10 is, again for Johnny Evans. Them two were solid in there, and as I said, a clean sheet is what we needed, and that's what we got. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for the two centre backs. And at left back with James Just, I'm going to boost him up to a 7 as well. I thought he did it right to start Adama Troy in the first half. I thought first half wise he had him in his pocket. Second half he got exposed a bit more, but overall a good performance from JJ. And of course, coming up against a player like Adama Troy was always going to be tough. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for James Justin. Right, and moving into the midfield three. So yeah, starting off in that defensive role with Hamza Chowdhury. For me, I give Hamza a 6 out of 10. Yes, it may be slightly harsh, but I think the main downfall just from the game was Hamza just not really passing the ball correctly. He weren't in the right space. Obviously, he's not used to it. He's not like Ndidi, who knows exactly where to be. So he's still learning. It's Hamza, but I think if Ndidi was in there, we could have moved the ball a bit quicker, and the intensity could have started a bit quicker from the back. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for Hamza. I thought the defense was good, but just on the ball, I think that let now. But obviously, it's above average. So yeah, another decent performance from Chowdhury. Moving ahead then with Youri Tielemans, 7 out of 10 for me. I thought it was pretty average just throughout the game. Overall, it was a decent performance from Youri. Bit sloppy here and there, just like Leicester. It was a sloppy performance from Leicester as a whole. So yeah, 7 out of 10 then for Youri Tielemans. It could definitely be a 6. So moving ahead then with James Maddison, for me, I might give him a 6 or a 7 to be honest. Him and Tielemans are close, but yeah, definitely say 7 because yeah, I think it was alright throughout the game. His passing was quite good throughout. He linked it quite nice. He was Leicester's main man, especially in that first half, but just lacked the final pass, just like Leicester did as a whole. So yeah, 7 out of 10 then for James Maddison. And finally moving into the front three. So yeah, starting off in that left wing position with Harvey Barnes. For me, I'm going to give Harvey a 6 out of 10. I thought it was quite quiet once again was Barnes. He came into the game just in that second half, but yeah, just didn't really do too much to what did Barnes. He was alright in the first half as well, but I thought he could have offered it a bit more. But obviously it was going to be tough. He was quite isolated on that foreign side, so it wasn't bad by Harvey, but it wasn't the greatest of performances from him. So yeah, 6 or 7, but we'll let's just say 6. Right then with Ayoze Perez. For me, 6 out of 10 for Perez. I didn't think he had the greatest performances. Just like Barnes, he was quite isolated just out wide. Didn't really receive that much of the ball. He came inside a bit more in that first half, which was alright, but just didn't really link up the play that well. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for Ayoze Perez. And out top with Kelechi Iheanacho, 6 for him as well. I thought it was quite quiet throughout the game as well. He linked up the play nicely in that first half, but second half, of course, he's only gone for about 20 minutes, so he had one shot in the game as well. And for striker, that's not that good. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for Kelechi Iheanacho. But overall, it just based on that, you can see that Leicester didn't really perform the greatest, but it wasn't the worst bit. It was just a pretty lacklustre performance from Leicester today, and we just didn't really hit the heights which all Leicester fans know we can reach. So there was girls. That is it then for today's video. Of course, in today's video, I bring you guys my post-match thoughts on the most boringest game in football history. Leicester nil, Wolves nil. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was a boring game today. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed today's video, as always, let me know by dropping a like, subscribe as well to the channel if you guys haven't already. family, and as always, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, boys and girls. But yeah, of course, next up is Brighton in the FA Cup. Hopefully we can get the win in that one and progress into the quarter-finals. But yeah, boys, I'm Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.